What up, though? Welcome. Pain to Power, Motivation, Spoken Word, Motivation live stream. I welcome you. It's a no judgment zone, free to be who you are. This is one of those live streams. We're going to get into some spoken word. We're going to make some logic of the things one could be going through and trying to juggle day to day, the frustrations that may be inside, the confidence you may be dealing with. I got about 6 poems right here that I'm going to get into. I got a couple of titles. I took a couple of notes right here, so just bear with me and enjoy the entertainment. I appreciate all who tuning in, and make it a little vulgar here and there as far as the conversation. Because to be honest with you, it is some people out there who need tough love. Some people be out there playing victim and living in a world where it's created amongst you and around you, and you stand in that whole frustration and can't get outside your journey, but wondering why. But it's really because you done built the wall up of not only frustration, but stuck in the world and scared to change. So that momentum we're going to touch on, and also everyone, mainly females, could be guys too, who interested in a erotic spoken word. The link is in the Patreon to check out my adult, more graphic spoken word and poetry. You can get a glimpse of that. Headphones, definitely suggested listening to that. Donations accepted through Super Chat, which you can do through YouTube, and also through CashApp. That's just to support the movement. That's just to make everything a little bit better with the creation, lightening, and supporting the whole movement of being a free will to do this poetry. Shout out to Mallory in the chat. Everyone who pulling up in the chat who want to get a dose of this spoken word, I definitely appreciate you. And this first poem I'm going to get into this evening, and be sure to hit that like button. That do help the algorithm. This first motivational piece I'm going to get into, this one is called Live Your Own Truth. This is called Living Your Own Truth, and we're going to speak on it and talk about it, because some people can do that or may have to do that. What's up to everybody in the chat? What up, Adam, Mallory? What's up to all y'all? I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel also if you just passed and through. But listen to me though. Close your mind to the outside world. Concentrate. You hear that? That's the silence of your soul dancing on top of your intelligence, and you shouldn't fear that. You know who you are. You know your mind and motives. It's time to go the distance. Matter of fact, the extra mile, get your passion notice. Focus. Focus on life. You see, some keep living like time ain't got no limits. Let me say that again. Focus. Focus on life. You see, some keep living like time ain't got no limits. Get it out your system, die empty, leave a legacy when you finish. Routine, repetition. Pause and pray every day. Doors get closed in your face, go through the window, fuck that, it's time to make a way. And we cleaning house. Negative souls and hate gotta vacate. Trying to fly amongst people that want to clip your wings ain't gonna help you fly straight. The crash landing. family not even understanding. Them goals is yours, fall back up, even if you gotta do some rebranding. Switch up the flow. You see, I kick knowledge, but my shit ain't garbage. I'm around the corner, down the street, but still trying to make you think outside the box while still being an artist. Ain't no age limit on goals. Ain't no page skipping playing roles. Do what you believe, and once you understand who's really in control, pick up the pen, grab the ball, it's time to shoot. The world is waiting. So live your own truth. Live your own truth. What's up, Adam? Thanks for subscribing. Got a new subscriber. That's Mallory. You already subscribed. I appreciate you. Ecstasy. Say you starving. Thanks for the lesson. Adam Villa, what's up? I appreciate you. That's right. It's lessons in all of this. That's why with that first piece, I'm speaking on living your own truth. You had to think about that. Everybody got something going on. That's why the consciousness in that point, that's why the first thing I say is close your mind to the outside world. Concentrate. You hear that? You see, sometimes we really have to tune out everything. I know I speak on that a lot. For some of y'all who been keeping up with the channel, we speak on things like that as far as like digging into yourself and understanding that, okay, sometimes I got to drown this out. Sometimes you got to sacrifice. Sometimes you got to say no to certain things. And you got to be in tune. First of all, you got to be in tune to realizing the things in life that you don't need, the stuff that's fucking you up, or the stuff that's throwing you off square, or the things that's got your whole mental in a whole, a whole blind fury that's, you got to channel in that moment. That's why I say close your mind to the outside world. Concentrate. You hear that? That's the silence of your soul dancing on top of your intelligence, and you shouldn't fear that. That's one thing when you meditating. Them thoughts you have, don't run away from that. Don't run away from them thoughts that you have. I mean, if they good. I mean, matter of fact, even if they bad, because you concentrate and you get in touch with yourself. Because to be honest with you, you have to give yourself some credit when you don't do the bullshit that you really was thinking of. You have them thoughts zooming in and out and shit. But to really be in tune, to have that consciousness, to not do some of that bullshit that you might be thinking, that's a powerful tool. You got to think to yourself, how many people is in prison or locked up because they just snapped and made a mistake on some bullshit that they really wouldn't even know, but they mental then went to that, and next thing you know, they done went off on a whole nother tantrum, and they sitting up, they can't even get that 1 second back that they just wish they can get that time and moment back. Like damn, I was drunk and I did that. I was high and I did that, and now I'm here for umpteen years, or I made a decision and did that. All those inner thoughts are things that you have to channel in on and realize, okay, that was that moment. What's up there, everybody in the chat? Let me know where y'all coming in from at. Where y'all checking in at? What city? What state? What y'all repping? I'd love to know. I appreciate y'all. And that was the first piece, know thyself. Now this next one I'm gonna get into, this is a hope of some motivation and letting you know, because we do live in a world where a lot of us compare. Let's just be real. Especially with the world of social media and stuff like that. We live in a world where we compare. And some of us think we're not moving at the right speed, which in real time, we are moving at God's speed. And that's something we do need to realize. But this next piece I'm going to get into is called Everybody Get Their Moment. And I want y'all to realize that everybody's going to get their moment. Real talk, no bullshit, no exaggerating. You put in that work and you got that consistency going on, you're going to get your moment. Everybody's going to get their moment. So let's get into this piece, and we gonna break this one down and see if we can touch a soul with this one. And I thank everybody who tuning in, and shout out to the replay gang. Listen to me. It's so hard to be patient, knowing your power and potential, facing the world with a mask on and society not knowing what you done been through. I done seen thieves lie, steal, and cheat to eat. I would have bet my last ounce of sperm that the people that I looked out for would have been there to do the same for me. But I don't dwell on the past. You see, my blessing gonna be my blessing. You see, I'm out here chasing goals to myself, keeping success to myself, and they trying to worry if I'm stressing. I keep them guessing. You see, my next move ain't to prove to these dudes that I'm better. You see, I'm out here weathering the storm myself, trying to save souls while still being a trendsetter. Listen to me. A focused man is a dangerous man. Serious enough to be serious. You ain't broke, you just being responsible, taking care of business like you supposed to, point blank, period. Be influenced but don't compare. Self-gratification to some is a never-ending high. Attention don't always equal success. Being influenced before you die. I don't invest in man, because God plan is beyond my wishes. Pray, work forward, and decline yourself and watch how the outcome switches. Live for it. Dance in it. And act like you want it. And your race is your race, and don't be surprised when it happens. Because everybody gonna get their moment. Everybody gonna get their moment. Let me stand up and just move around a little bit. I don't want to straight up just be a statue when I'm doing this, you know? Because let's just talk about it, though. When I say everybody get their moment, I'm coming from a perspective of just trying to let y'all know that you got to be patient when you working and when you getting things done, because, again, it may not come on your time or your dime, but when it do come, you're going to look back, like in the video I was saying yesterday, you basically was preparing yourself for everything that you did before that moment. You was getting yourself in line and inclined with it. That's why in the last piece of that poem, I say, live in it, dance in it, and don't be surprised when it happens. Because you could be going through some shit, and you be like, man, it's some bullshit. Like, how I get stuck in this situation, and it's going down like this, and, you know, my whole energy is just being distraught and going astray. But when your moment comes, that's your time to shine. Realize that everybody gonna get that moment. And how the fuck did y'all gotta excuse me? I'm just watching the chat. I look up YouTube and took away a like. How they take away a like? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be on here like Hassan Campbell. They be like, man, they're playing with my numbers. They're playing with my numbers. But shit, it's looking like facts. They do play with the numbers. They do play them games. Because I could have swore this said 2 likes and now it went down to 1. But, you know, we on here serving purpose. I mean, they might want to suppress that in the numbers in the game, but I appreciate the ones that tune in and be inclined and grow and want the knowledge and seek it. You know, y'all might see that behind me too. See, this is the type of positive shit I do be on. Look who right there behind me, you know. Y'all see that right there. There's some art up on my wall. I got this drew up. Most of y'all know that's Stevie right there. Well, y'all know that's Stevie, you know. Well, he's one of my favorite artists, you know, of all time. for multiple reasons, for speaking on positivity and being from Detroit. I can't lie, I do got a Detroit connection with that, but he just real, he can see things that we can't see, although he blind, and Stevie is one of my favorites of all time. Stevie, Pop, Nas, it's some others. Common, Prodigy, E40. Even though Stevie the only singer I'd have said, but there's some other singers I like too. Prince. I thought Prince now. I'm a real big Prince fan. I'm into Prince too. Prince, Stevie, some Marvin. If you notice, if you notice the thread with all these people got like a social conscious undertone to them. I like people who got something to say. I know I'm kind of going off a little bit, but I'm still going to bring it back, what I'm saying, to the pain equaling the power, because I know some could come for the motivation, but we still kicking and giving game and speaking on what we speaking on. And it's not just about just straight up giving you a poem and trying to teach you and preach to you. I'm giving you back ends and stories of behind the scene of the person that you listening, paying attention to. And that's how you build as an artist, for all y'all artists out there. Let the world know who you is, not only through your art, but the things that you do and the things that you into. You'll be surprised who will like you for what. Because people get turned on and off from people by the simplest things. Everybody in this whole space, and you can't please them all. And don't be a people pleaser too in life. Fuck all that. I done had moments of feeling like that too. Like, you don't want to say no. You don't want to make people feel, uncomfortable and all that. Fuck that. Some people, again, they deserve tough love. Give it to them. It can even be your kids, your family, all that. Mallory, you signing out. I appreciate you though. I get it. I appreciate you. Everybody in the chat who fall through and into the game. That's how we going. But I got more poems and pictures for y'all. I done gave y'all two so far. I done gave y'all live your own truth and everybody get their moment. I got this other one I'm gonna get into. It's kind of short, but it's still just straight to the point. And it's some real shit. And hold on, we gonna break it down like this. It's called You Still Got a Chance. It's simple, but it's real and it's raw. Because you all do still got a chance. Mallory said, can you make me one? Let me see if I can find this one. You still got a chance. It's actually from a book I wrote also. Y'all can look this up. You can look this up right here. Raptalk presents pocket-sized poetry. You can look this up on Amazon right now and download it to your phone. Matter of fact, I'm going to do this one right here. This one called Believer. I feel it. I know it can happen. I pray, I work, my thoughts have turned to action. I believe in meditation. I believe in me. When belief is low, I talk to God. I walk through the dark with my wisdom seeing light. I made it through the struggle because I had belief in the fight. I jumped in the water with the thoughts of sink or swim. Nah, I take that back. My thoughts were swim, swim, swim. I made it. I made it because I had belief. I made in my people because my strength runs deep. That piece is called Believer. What up, Matthew? Shout out to you in the chat coming through. Peace indeed. We over here, we turning pain into power. Whatever you going through, you gotta dig inside yourself and reverse that shit. Key in on yourself and realize that everything is temporary. If you notice the thread with all these different pieces I've been doing this evening so far, it's all a sign of motivation and hope and getting that shit together and realizing. Look at the titles. I said, live your own truth. That's a part of being yourself. And it broke that all the way down. Then the next one was everybody get their moment, because that's just letting you know that your breakthrough is around the corner, because everybody's going to get their moment. How many times you've seen people just pop off and pop on? You see people come and go all day, whether successful or not successful. People come through and make shit happen. I mean, we see it all the time. All these different high-end things. You know, you see it with artists. You got this new actor over here, this new singer over here, this new rapper over here. Everybody come through. Even at your job or your corporate, whatever you went to, everybody get their moment. You know, you want that bonus, you want that promotion, whatever. Everybody get their moment. You work hard toward and put yourself out there and put yourself in that lane. It's coming. That's why you got to turn that pain into power. That's just the structure of just realizing that you always made it through all the time. If you think about it, all the bullshit you ever went through, what happened in the end? I mean, you can look back on all that shit, all the fuck ups, all the losses. I mean, even the healing with the hurt, as far as passing away and all that shit. I mean, it's real. I mean, it'll never be the same, but you dig deep and have to find a way to bounce back and understand that, okay, my livelihood is still at stake. I got people depending on me. I gotta sustain. I mean, growing up in the hood, in my neighborhood here in Detroit, the OGs, the old homies, they used to have this one saying, and it still rings real. They'd be like, get money or sleep in the park, you know. And I used to hear it all the time and think to myself, like, man, these niggas, like. But then you really grow up to understand, this is fucking real life. You really gotta. I mean, I ain't saying that you gotta get it the dirty way, the illegal way, by fucking nobody off or over. But it really is get money or sleep in the park. That's really life. And you'll be surprised how many people who was getting money back in the days who look up now and be thinking like, damn, man, I wish I just had me a regular fucking job or something. Or I just wish I just had me some type of just simple ass income, and like I wasted all this time doing this shit and really just want to just have a simple ass life now and wish they could just get them strikes up off of them and all types of, have a whole clean slate. Just to rewind time and just say like, man, just give me the simple life right now. Like, I just settle for whatever. Just some constant income every 1 or 2 weeks. It's really niggas who just ran through money living like that right now, thinking to themselves like, I had that bag, I was getting it, I was moving and grooving, but now I just want this regular simple ass life to get a check and go home and watch some TV and stick, and knock something down. But again, it goes back to that clarity of not only being patient, but realizing, like I said, that everybody get their moment. What MCA say, the hood took me under. Remember songs like that, shit like that? The hood took me under. But now it's all coming out in hindsight. It's all coming out that that one nigga who was the worker, or that one dude who was waking up going to work, he was the strong one. Y'all been seeing the post been going around a little bit. It came across my feed and I thought about it. That's some real shit. That one person who was in the hood that was sustaining and being strong, who didn't turn the blind eye and thinking like, okay, I'm about to run to the streets. I'm about to do this. I'm about to be in the game and I'm about to run and try to get it the fast way. That one dude who was more patient and didn't let that shit crack him. We look back on that now. They was the strong ones. We was the strong ones. I'm a part of that. I mean, you can play around and deal with the dabble a little bit, but nothing major, nothing real. But the ones who woke up and was walking by the fiends, the ones who was walking by the nice cars, and the people who was getting money and all that shit, and didn't let all that temptation dwindle them down to living that lifestyle and waking up and saying like, okay, nope, nope. I see y'all. I see the money. I see the hoes. I see all that. I see all the glamour and the glitz. But I know what come with that. You know what I'm saying? We looking at it in the hindsight now when you knock on the door at 30 and 40 and 50 and you hitting them 80s and you looking back like, man, they was the smart ones. You was the smart one. The ones who didn't break on temptation and invest their whole life in crime and mayhem and bullshit. You was the smart one. Them niggas was the smart ones. They was the ones who was patient, waiting their turn, knowing like, okay, I'm gonna get mine. What they say in that one movie? And this my shit too, one of my favorite movies ever, Bronx Tale. Like he say, the working man is a sucker. Remember, Cologio, his daddy was a bus driver, and Sonny, he was like, he told his son like, man, the working man is a sucker, you know. But in the end, in the movie, he came to his conscience and realized what was what. He got out that car, things like that. But that's one of my favorite movies too. There's a lot of lessons in that movie, man. If y'all never seen that movie, go see that movie, Bronx Tale. I forgot what year it came out. It even touched on racial issues, all of that stuff. And it just shows how decisions have to be made and taking a chance. It's even a love story in the movie also too. If y'all don't know Bronx Tale, watch that movie. It's lessons in that. But we look back on life and I do realize them dudes who was going straight and narrow, they was even smarter than the hustlers because they was looking like, man, I ain't about to just fold just because them couple dollars could be there right there right now. As a matter of fact, y'all made me want to get into this one piece I got. Damn, I might have to find it. But it's one I wrote called The Streets Don't Love Nobody. I'm trying to see if I remember it off top. I don't want to play myself, but I might remember it off top. I'm going to try it. If I don't, fuck it, I'll find it. See, I got so many writings around here. No lie, no lie. These poems and writings and motivation, man, I got them. But let me see if I can remember this piece. Y'all bear with me. These streets don't love nobody. Let me say that again. These streets don't love nobody. Why you think they always repeat that it's lonely at the top? Nigga, the feds is coming, the bitches is running, and these little niggas on the block want your spot. That info with that hoe can turn state's evidence. Voice recording, hood extortion. Now let's see how much time you ready to spend. You see, some ain't built for this. Thought it was easy. Get in the streets and find out that it's hard. Playing mind games with vets on the streets and you a rookie, man. You could have been better off just getting a job. Hell, you put in the same hours. Second or third shift, taking a life risk with no benefits. Treated like a hoe and thinking the streets don't know that you a snitch. Fools, stop that shit. And in the end, your friends gonna rob you probably. You see, all these hood stories end the same. These streets don't love nobody. These streets don't love nobody. Raptalk. I made it through that one. I was trying to see if I remembered it because I was thinking to myself like, damn. Because I got on a little rant and was talking. I'm thinking like, okay, we get up talking about the street shit. And I'm thinking like, okay, damn, I do got a poem called Streets Don't Love Nobody. There's lessons in that. The streets really don't love nobody. And that's why the end of that I say, and in the end, your friends gonna rob you probably. You see, all these hood stories end the same. Cause these streets don't love nobody. What up, Matthew, in the chat? Shout out to everybody who been sliding through on the chat. Y'all know how this shit go. People come and go. That's what the live stream is all about. Dip in, get what you may need, and dip out, you know. But I appreciate y'all. Definitely wipe your feet off at the door and hit that like button as soon as you pass through. That definitely push the videos and help, you know, for the ones that's passing through and seeing it. And also, just to understand, if you like stuff like this, if you like the motivation, or if you looking for that type of, you know, that ain't gotta be super consciousness, cause I ain't about to lie to y'all and sound like I'm some super conscious ass nigga. But I'm gonna talk my shit, and I wanna share a little bit of game, and maybe we can touch some people and it still be entertaining at the same time. Cause I mean, we got a whole flux and oversaturated, you know, energy of all the other shit, and y'all can get that online all day, every day. I already put the whoop on y'all already when I came with the trending topics and all that shit. Y'all just don't know. I was just showing another side of me, man. I was baiting y'all up to get y'all this game. That's what I was coming with. That's why you was seeing shit, you know, you was seeing certain names and titles and all that shit, man. How else we gonna get through to y'all when we wanna get y'all this shit, man? You gotta put the medicine in the candy, man. Cause the streets, they listening, but it takes the rest of the people to make the shit cool for them to be listening. So they can understand, like, okay, we can take the game, you know? And it still bothers my motherfucking head. How is it that the biggest rappers is the most conscious rappers, but everything else, you know, they don't want to keep pushing more people like them? You know, you got thought-provoking Kendrick. You got thought-provoking Cole. You know, shit like that. We should have about 10 of those on the charts, competing to give knowledge and competing to give game, or competing to see who the smarter. That's why we got shirts like this and say intelligence is sexy. That's why we do shit like this, you know, to push this type of narrative. And you can also order one of these too. Order one of these shirts. Intelligence is sexy. You know, go to my page and you will see it. And you tune into that and we can turn that up also. Shit like that should be on every college students, high school kids, shit like that. Pushing the narrative that intelligence is sexy. Man, it's still a nice day, you know. It's still early in the day. And we getting some things done. Where we at with it? Let me sit this down for a minute. I can sit this down for a minute. Y'all know yesterday I was coming with the beats. Shout out to Upbeat, the app. I gotta holler at them too, man, because I was shouting that app out a lot yesterday. I need to do some affiliate marketing with them. Put a link in the description so people can go on and get some of them beats. They got some nice beats over there, Lofty, Trap, all types of stuff. If you ain't watched the show yesterday, I was getting down to a whole bunch of different instrumentals and beats and talking over them and doing poems. Just go to my lives and check out the other videos. And definitely the one from yesterday. I forgot what I titled it, but it shouldn't be too hard to find. So where we at with it? We done did Live Your Own Truth. Everybody get their moment. Believer. The streets don't love nobody. Let me see what else I got for y'all. I can't see it coming down my eyes, so I gotta make the poem crap. Man, I got so much material, man. Looking at this excites me, man, for real, because I see progress. And that's another thing, that pan into power. With this live stream, we showing progress, and that's what you have to do. Show progress in something. Write that shit down, what you need to be doing day by day, and daily checking off your goals list. Shit like that, you know? Daily check that shit off. You know, having accomplishments make you feel better because you'll be like, hey, man, I did something today. Like, I got something done. Y'all gotta excuse me. Y'all not excuse me. We streaming shit. I'm up here getting my meal on this, I guess, single man shit. Even though I do what I do or whatever, but the man's gotta eat, so got that oven going in the summer. But I got air though, so we got air, so let the air go. But just putting a couple things on. I'm gonna get into another motivational piece. This next one I'm gonna do, let me cut this damn air back on. I hope it don't mess with the video too much, but it's getting a little warm up in here, man. We gotta put that shit back on. You feel me? It's summertime. That's one thing too. Will Smith gonna live forever with that fucking song. Well, Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff. Summertime. I just cut that oven off and it's still gonna do this shit. Summertime. There we go with it. Let that shit breathe a little bit. Let that breathe a little bit. Again, that intelligence is sexy. Be sure to get one of these. I'd love to see some of y'all ladies with that on. Y'all order one of them shirts and then send me an email. Put y'all on the channel. Have y'all looking good, you know? I mean, intelligence is sexy. Matter of fact, let me get into that piece, because some people may not even know where I got that poem and piece. Well, I ain't gonna say where I got it from. But they might see the shirt and be like, okay, like I see what it say, but what do it mean and where do it come from? It comes from a poem piece that I did. So let me do it real quick for those who may have not heard it before. The way she tell, I can. Oh, hold on. Look at that, I'm fucking up already. The way she spelled, I can tell English class was her favorite. Commas and curves in all the right places and completes her statements. Eyes wide bright, she can light the room. Even completes my sentences because she stays in tune. And the tunes that I pick, she dissect the verses. Our conversations are prices like a coupon purchase. Separating apples from oranges, our mental performance keeps me elevated because the love is enormous. The walk of a queen with the confidence posture. No twerking videos because he's trying to prosper. Everything legit, all her shit got insurance. After work relations hit the track with endurance. No time for the gossip because she's busy with reading. Plotting on investments and the money receiving. See her working overtime, I'ma get her, she let me. So fuck a pill popping weed head chick. Intelligence is sexy. Intelligence is sexy. You dig? That's the motto with that one right there. Intelligence is sexy. Got these in multiple colors also. True black, red, blue, green, purple, yellow, all of that. And again, shout out to everybody. You can go to the Patreon and check out the adult poetry, the erotic poetry over there. It's for the 18 and up though. No kids, no none of that. We None of that. 18 and up on the audio side of the game with the storytelling and the sultriness. And again, headphones are definitely suggested when you listen to the audio. You can go to Patreon, Raptalk Poetry. Again, that's Patreon, Raptalk Poetry. And you can go over there and meditate, sleep real good, and listen to a soothing voice and catch a little bit of game and some sultriness, some smooth spoken word on the erotic tip. But I get with y'all though. I get with y'all on my next live. Hit that notification button so you can be aware for the next time I go live. You know, this spontaneous, this is independent. Can do this when I feel like it, you know. Can wake up tomorrow or sometime in the day and be like, okay, let's get at it, let's get to it. I feel like talking to the people and things like that, you know. But love what you do, turn that pain into power, reverse that shit, dig into your inner self and always realize that everything is temporary. All that feelings, all that anxiety, you know, go for a walk, go exercise, do something that'll, you know, make you feel like you steady moving. That's what exercising does. That's what working out does. That's what going for a walk does. That's what staring at some water does. That's what listening to certain melodies do and frequencies and the music do. You know, storytelling and stuff like that. And that's why I wanted to come in with some poetry today, some spoken word. I appreciate y'all. I'll get with y'all on the next hiccup. Rap Talk.